dopest man you ever met in your entire life. Put that camera on that sign one time. Put it up one time. Slick Rick. Woo! And I want the whole world to know I got my Learjet sitting right out there at Peachtree Cab. And in just about 20 minutes, I'm going to ease down the steps, Ted Turner by my side, get my limousine, ride on 85, get my Learjet, woo, and take off to New Orleans. You got it, New Orleans. If you're watching right now, I'm 42,000 feet, easing on in. Because in several hours, woo, I'm going to walk that aisle looking as only the nature boy can look. Oh, so fine. I'm not even going to tell you it's going to be JD on my left and Mary on my right, but I'm not telling any of you which one of my robes I'm wearing till I get there tonight. The bottom line is, Big Dust, if you got the butterflies, don't feel bad. You got to wrestle the world champion. And in New Orleans tonight, the joint's going to be packed. And I don't do no job in front of 70,000 people. I walk down that aisle and I take care of it. Who is only Slick Rick here? And then, one more public announcement after I beat up Dusty Rhodes. I'm going to ease across the street to the Hyatt Regency and drinks all the champagne, anything you want is on the world check.
We had, say what? A whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's
word attack skills and vocabulary too. Comprehension of this edition is all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary and like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
Boom, bap surprise. Here we go again. Ring Time Pro Wrestling. Keisha in the building. Keisha, say hi to the people.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show, our wonderful show that I'm pretty sure if you follow me on Twitter, you've been seeing me like ridiculously advertising because we're just so awesome.
First of all, not ridiculous advertising. I've talked to the committee. They are happy to see your new motivation and to see that you are out here in the streets, letting the world know that we got shows coming up.
Hey, I mean, I want to spread the word. I want to get it out there. And I also have rediscovered my Twitter account, so I'm like thoroughly excited for using it and everything. Like,
upper management has noticed. Now, there's not a raise in it for you, but upper management has noticed.
Hey, the extra time.
Told me at work.
Right. That's ridiculous.
You're like, yeah, man. We see you working hard, Keith. Now, we ain't talking about no more money, but we see you working hard.
Right. You know how you always get a little pat on the back, like, good job. You're doing a wonderful job. Like, okay, but can I get something for it? Like, how much of my effort are you really looking at, though? Because you ain't proving nothing.
Man, I'm a lottery ticket away from quitting this motherfucker. And I'm not talking like mega millions at this point no more, Keith. I get a good scratch off. I'm out of there. Give me $5,000 on a scratch off, and I might try to find something to do for a month.
You ain't got no sense.
That's where the frustration is. Like I'm shit. I'll tell you something. Let me hit Fantasy 5 for about $500,000. Get everybody at my job kissed my ass. I'm gone. Like it's just a deal. It's over. Like, hey, that's enough money for me to search for another job for a while.
All right, it is. And trust, after the day I had today, it's funny because today was just one of those days where I had like that exact same thought. It was just kind of like, oh my God, like I could just hit the lottery, like just one good time. Like I don't have to do this.
That's
man.
enough money for me. Just work full time on my book. Do this full time.
Right.
Because the kind of like sports podcast builder works for like how long? And ain't came out yet. But that being said,
trust.
hey, if you go to the website is cracking.
All right. The website is awesome.
Working my
people.
Ass off.
By the way, I think I personally am a huge fan of the website, so I would suggest everybody goes to it. Very great articles, very good reviews, very good stuff, man. I mean, awesome stuff. So if you're a sports fan out there, kind of like sports is the place you want to go to. Trust.
Yeah. So understand, we delve into heavy stuff because we talk about social issues as it relates to sports.
Right.
So I will piss you off.
Just to let you know.
But
unapologetically, by the way.
Yeah, but good content, right? But y'all ain't come here for all that. Y'all came here for this wrestling, right? Because this week has been one hell of a week. Keish, this is what we waited for. This is one of these things that the brand extension promised us.
Right.
And it's here. We got 4 major things that happened that went down. You know what I mean? Raw and SmackDown are usual, but there still was solid shows. But you had a pay-per-view on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Cruiserweight Classic final was last night.
Exactly.
2-hour special. That's a middle of the week pay-per-view.
Exactly. It was the highlight. But
they threw in some hell of a matches.
Right.
Some amazing matches were thrown on that show. Okay. We got some surprises. We found out that the Cruiserweight champion, we don't have to wait to see what's going to happen on Raw. See, I thought, like, okay, we're going to get to Raw, and we got to figure out who our Cruiserweight champion going to be.
No.
Nope. We figured that out last night. So not only do we have a winner of the Cruiserweight Classic, we got a new champ.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So we're going to Raw with a champ. I don't want them to harm the Cruiserweight division, Keish. I don't want anybody on Raw to think that they need to write any of these outrageous storylines or anything, right?
I'm scared of it. I really am. I'm highly scared of it.
One thing I think we've proved with the Cruiserweight Classic is that you don't need anything but the bell to bell with these guys, right?
Simplicity is best.
Right. It just... We've ran these shows for about a month and a half where basically everybody tuned in to watch. We learned the background of all these guys. They came from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what we got was, hey, they're here for this goal and this common cause.
Right.
And that's it. Here you go. And they told stories. They enhanced and told their stories through the matches.
Exactly.
I just want maybe the company to understand also with the main roster that there should be some storylines, don't get me wrong. There should be some motivations and some understanding of where we're going. But for the most part, let's make this about the bell to bell, right?
All right.
Because that's going to sell everything. Because the ultimate goal for everybody is what? The championship.
Exactly.
Everybody who play football right now, they playing to try to get to the Super Bowl. If you're in college football, you try to get to the playoff. High school, you want to be state champ. Everybody try to get to the trophy, right?
Right.
That's all you got to do with this wrestling. Look, if you make everything about the belts and everybody try to get to the belts, the stories will take care of themselves. Because then people are going to do what they got to do to get to the belt. I don't have to be a heel or a face for you to hate. Because my ultimate goal is to get that strap. And I don't care if you like me or not.
Right.
If you do, that's cool. That's great. But, I mean, I can use the support. But realistically, my main goal is that strap. And I don't care if you and I are on the same side of the fence. You know what I mean? Because right now, I think some of this stuff is too Republican and Democrat. And we just need it to be shades of gray and independence.
Right.
But that's my rant. I think I'm going to have to put it in writing for the WWE to stop doing this, hey, you can wrestle the champ for an opportunity at the title. Because I just don't. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid, and I think it cheapens your title. I think it cheapens your champ. Because once you beat the champ, I don't think the champ should take unnecessary losses.
Right.
The only time the champ should lose if they lose in the belt. Right?
Right.
Period, point. Like, I think there's a dominant setting that we got to have for champs. But I don't think there should be a lot of non-title matches. Like, my ideal is this. If you are a world champ, you shouldn't wrestle on free TV that much. If you are a mid-card champion, there's no reason why when you're wrestling, you are not defending that belt unless you are in a tag match.
Right.
And that's the thing, too, like with the world champ. You put him in some tag matches here and there, but for the most part, they should wrestle every week on free TV. But, you know, we'll go into all of that. Once again, another rant. And I don't know, Keisha. I think it's because I feel alive this week.
Yeah, hey,
I'm
I understand.
Back in the saddle. But
I understand completely.
I know we got like 2 hours worth of talk coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all straddle up. Because let's go and let's talk about the first event of this week, which was the Backlash pay-per-view. So, the WWE has brought back Backlash, which is one of our favorite pay-per-view titles. And it's going to be exclusive to the SmackDown brand. So, Keish, it was a short show. I think we went about 2 hours and 40 minutes. We didn't go to full 3.
Right.
Which, you know, for a SmackDown show, I expect the SmackDown pay-per-views to be shorter because it's a shorter show. Where Raw, you're going to use the full 3 hours for a pay-per-view because the 3-hour Raw, right?
Right.
Essentially is a 2 hour and 15-minute Raw because of commercials. Just like SmackDown, essentially I think is 90 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, just about.
Okay. So we do the kickoff show. Baron Corbin defeats Apollo Crews. I mean, I really wasn't enthused by the match. I'm also kind of not sure about Apollo Crews' this direction.
Yeah, I don't like it. Like, I'm gonna use the words that I think are best for it. I don't like it, and I wish that they would stop it. like in all honesty, it just looks worse and worse every time I see him wrestle. Like, at first it was looking promising, but now it just looks like it's just going downhill. You know?
Yeah, I think there's a level of confusion of what they're going to do with him.
Right. I don't know. I don't really understand it. No, the way I understand it is that they're just kind of jobbing him out half the time, most of the time. Like, it just looks bad for him right now. And it's like, why? I don't really understand why they're doing it. That's just the biggest part for me because, I mean, he came in looking incredible, and now it's like, okay, who's he losing to this week? You know, I don't really get it. I don't really get it. He's been taking these shots, and he has just been taking this stuff, and it's just kind of like, for what reason? I really don't understand it. So, I guess that's just me being a little taken aback by how they're treating him, because I really just don't understand it.
I don't think they have a direction for him, and I don't think there's any immediate plans for him. You know what I mean? So right now he's taking the losses, and they're starting to rack up. Now, the thing is that it's the WWE. Don't get too caught up on the losses, because here's the thing. I've seen them take somebody and they just lose. You know what I mean? And I mean lose all the time. And then all of a sudden, it's like we put them in a title push. Now, it's easy because with somebody like Cruz, I think his look allows for you to do some things with him.
Right.
Because it's like, all right, he always looks credible. You know, that's not a problem. Like, he always looks credible. Now, Corbin, I don't know what's going on with Corbin either. And all right, because I got in this discussion today. I was comparing Corbin to Big Cass. I don't really compare the two because they're both like 7 feet, right?
Right.
I buy Cass. Like, I buy him 100%. Whole stock. Like in a Fatal 4-Way main event, he didn't look out of place. Like he belongs in the main event.
Right.
I don't know if I put Corbin in that slot yet.
I don't. Because he don't fit that place. I don't put him there because, to me, there's just not enough for me to kind of slide. There's no way to really slide him in there at this point. To me, Baron Corbin looks like a great mid-carder. Like, I don't really feel him at a main event status, you know? He might have, like, he has the abilities, like, as far as, like, his wrestling and all that goes, but when it comes to more so like the personality and like the total package of Baron Corbin, it doesn't reach past that for me. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't have the potential to change it, but something's missing there. And I don't really know how to necessarily say what it is. It's just kind of like, I'm not going to sit here and say he can't do it. I just don't think that it might be possible. Like, I don't see it. I don't. Like, I like Baron Corbin, but I like him, like, as, like, the best mid-carder. Like, I don't really see him as a main eventer. Period. Like, I don't even know if that's even possible at this point. Like, there has to be something that drastically changed to change my mind about that. Maybe it's because they don't utilize it enough. I mean, I don't really know. I don't. Like, I don't see him enough on TV for me to really make it a fair assessment as to, like, if this is really, like, what it seems like. Because this is just what it is for me right now. As much as I see him now and like, see him out there, like, yeah, I would definitely pick Big Cass over Baron to be in that main event picture situation. And I would use Baron for whatever my mid-card belt is. Like, he could be in that picture perfectly. But anything past that is just kind of like, nah. You know, I don't really know if that's okay to really do. I don't know. Like I said, it could always change. I mean, I think maybe if they just put him out there more, it could change my mind. Like, but I don't really. The way he's being utilized right now, and the way as much as exposure as he is, I just don't see it.
We opened up the show with the six-pack challenge, right?
Right.
And you forget, it's an elimination.
Yeah, totally forgot. I was one. Totally forgot about that. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
And it starts off kind of weird because it's really a lot of people just throwing each other out of the ring.
Right. Which I'm like, excuse me. But in order to win anything, even a pinfall, I'm like,
this is not a battle royale, right?
Right. If it was, it would have been over in like 30 seconds because everybody was pretty much thrown out of the ring within less than a minute. And it was just kind of like, okay, but this is, y'all not doing this over a top thing. Like, I only need for everybody to get back in the ring. Thank you. Like, what the hell? I was confused by that, too. I was like, I know y'all want to beat each other up, but can y'all get back in the ring and do that? Like, what the hell? I don't know. People confuse me sometimes with their decisions. It's like, what? I mean, most six-pack challenges that you've seen, everybody just starts fighting, but everybody's still in the ropes. It's like, what? Like, I don't know. Wasn't horrible. I mean, it didn't go too bad after that.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good match. I thought we got a lot out of it. Pretty much, Naomi got eliminated by Alexa Bliss, who I really dig her Harley Quinn vibe coming to the ring.
Yeah, I thought you looked awesome.
Natty took out Naomi. Naomi eliminated Alexa Bliss. Natty took out Naomi with a sharpshooter. Nikki Bella took out Natty. Carmella took out Nikki. Becky Lynch hits the disarmer on Carmella. And now, here's the thing, too. Nikki also got a little bit of revenge on Carmella because she smacked her around a little bit.
Right.
Becky did the design. She's the new champ. So, here's the thing. I'm proud of Becky Lynch. I think she is she's very talented, but I think she's one of the most looked over women that have been in the division.
Absolutely.
Because she's been passed over for the belt at every point. She didn't get it in NXT. It was a Charlotte-Sasha thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
She came to Raw when everybody came up, but she never really got the belt there. So now on SmackDown in her own land, and then they still kind of had her in the feuds with the different people. It's her time now.
Right.
And now everybody has to work their way up to her. So I think she's in a good spot. And, you know, when we have the co-branded pay-per-view, she'll show up and she'll see either Nikki or Sasha or Bayley and say, hey, I got my strap now.
Right.
Right? Because she's the only of the four horsewomen who never won anything. Because she didn't win in NXT either.
Yeah, and I always thought that sucked for her. Because it's not like she's bad, you know? Like, I see if she was struggling, you know, it would have been understandable, but Becky Lynch is incredible in the ring. Like, I think she's awesome. Like, all the way around awesome.
Yeah, I don't think it's not necessarily about her being good or bad in the ring. I just think it was the wrong place, wrong time. She's probably going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of the brand split, right?
Right.
Because now she can shine on SmackDown. Natty, I think, also will benefit with this. Alexa Bliss gets to come up. Naomi, I think, will benefit. Just because, like, Raw, you got at the top right now, it's Charlotte and Sasha. And they're so eclipsing. And then Bayley came in, and Bayley is such a big star from NXT. And, you know, that's a whole other thing. So she's an automatic contender. So everybody else behind her done slid down. Now right. Dana Brooke is in the mix. Dana Brooke is officially in the mix as a contender. So now look where we at. So, yeah, I think SmackDown will benefit from having Becky, and Becky will benefit from being on SmackDown. So Becky Lynch is your new champ. But next step, we go to Bray Wyatt attacking Randy Orton backstage. Now, that leads to Randy not really participating in, well, he doesn't wrestle that night. But Bray attacked him backstage. And I think that was because of a legit Randy injury.
Yeah, I think so, too. because it was. But was it just you? I mean, was it just me? But was it weird, like how they came into that? Like,
yeah, no, I mean,
it was really weird. It was really weird and random how they came into that, because it took me like a good 10 seconds to really understand what was going on at that moment. Like, it was just like a camera zoom, and then you just see Bray hitting this person with a door, and it's like, wait, what the is going on? Like, it was really seriously random and weird how they came into that, and I was like, they could have did better. Like personally, I was just kind of like, okay, there was a different way that y'all could have did this. You know, it could have been way better. Cause I guess I'm just not used to seeing bad random background attacks like that. You know, like, it's one thing if you would have came in and they were legitimately fighting each other, but it's another you just pop into a scene and this guy is getting hit with a door. Not even on the head or upper body, and it was his lower leg. So it's like, okay, what the hell is that, and what is he doing? I don't know. I was confused for almost a good 10 seconds before I actually understood what was happening in that scene. I was just kind of weirded out by it. I don't know, but I digress. I just wanted to throw that out there because I didn't know if I was the only one that felt that way about that whole thing.
Yeah. So, next up, we're going to go down. Heel Usos take on the Hype Bros.
Ooh, Heel Usos. Yes. They came out there in that new attire. I was like, yes, Usos. Sorry, I had a girl moment. I'm not going to lie. I had a girl moment.
I mean, you can have your moment.
I just had a girl moment. I was
when I see things, I comment.
I'm just saying, I was just playing.
You are 50% of this show, so.
That's what. Because, okay, I guess because I'm so used, I have to honestly say that, I've gotten thoroughly used to, the face paint and, all the colors and all that shit. So, they come down to the ring, and they, got on the black, and they got the little jackets on or whatever. I'm like, okay, I like that. This is a good look for them. All right. But then I seen the shoes. It was funny because when I seen the shoes, I was like, are they finna really wrestle out here in these mid-top Air Force Ones? I was like, wait a minute. Are we finna do that for real? Are they gonna be able to move around? But then I thought about it. I was like, please. They come out here wrestling in Jordans and stuff all the time. I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. So that was just me, though. I think I was being a little too observant about stuff. But I have to honestly say that since we're talking about the match, I like Heel Usos a lot more right now. They look so much better in the ring. I don't know if it was just because of the heel turn or what, but and then the level of aggression that's just there that they're carrying. But man, they look incredible. They already were good. That's not even. I'm not going to take away from them as if they just gotten they woke up as heels and their whole thing. It's not nothing that drastic, but I think they look smoother. If that's the word, that's the best word to use. They look awesome at this point with the little added aggressive state of their their in-ring personas. I'm with it. I'm so with it. I hope they carry this on for a long time. I'm just saying. The Hype Bros look good too. They look good against both. Them together actually was a great match. I thought it was awesome. Personally, hype bros are kind of funny to me, though. Mojo Riley is like one of the most. He is one of the most energetic wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. Like,
Mojo takes me back to a time like an 80s wrestler.
right.
And I almost want to say, son, you need to tone down on the caffeine or the cocaine. Whichever one it may be.
Right.
Son,
Because
you need a little less of one of those.
I mean, I understand he feeds into the whole hype bro thing, but like he is just.
I gotta give him credit because 15 minutes into the match, he's still up there. And like I said, he might need to tone down on the cocaine or the caffeine, whichever one that he is utilizing. Because that is unnatural. That's all I'm saying.
Right, like. It's one of those times, like, sir, are you really passing the drugs? Are they testing you? I'm just saying, I just need to know, like, what is your secret in life? Like, can you, be like, you know what? I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to let you have it.
To your point, I thought heel Usos looked good. They are the epitome of what I expect people to do when they make the change. Right. They stopped the island dance. They took away the paint. They took away the bright colors. They scaled everything down to all black. They walked slower to the ring. Like, they went total persona changing. Like, I literally would like other wrestlers to watch this and say, this is how I repackage. Right. I would like their cousin, Roman Reigns, to look at that and say, oh, this is how I can come back new.
Exactly.
Here's one of the problems with Roman Reigns. He still think he had a damn shield. Right. Like, he still, I mean, it's the same thing. His music ain't that much different. No. Then he still dressed almost the same. Like, dog, you got to get rid of that damn flak jacket. You got to find something else. Like, you're a big dude.
Right. And it's crazy because, like, all they've done to it is, like, put color on it. And it's like, no, you didn't change it. It's still the same. Like, it looks the same and everything. We see the paint. Like, come on, man. He really needs a whole makeover. He needs new music. He needs new ring attire. Like, he needs a new attitude. Like, all of that. And it's funny because for those of you that follow me on Twitter, I think I said on there, like, I was just kind of like, or I was just talking to a friend or something. I can't remember when I said it, but I was like, that needs to happen to Roman. Like I was like, I need for him to look towards his family members over here and be like, yeah, I need to do that because he needs it. Like, the Usos needed it. He needs it. Like, it's necessary. Oh, God, it's so necessary. But I'm not even finna get into all that. Like I'm not finna even get into all that because I can go on there for that forever. But, yeah.
Yeah. So
I understand your point totally.
Yeah.
I get it.
They defeat the Hype Bros. We go forward. Miz takes on Dolph Ziggler. He beats Ziggler. But he has some help from Maryse.
Of course.
Like, she sprayed Ziggler. What's the future of Dolph?
I don't, what, can you really give an answer to that? Because it's like, he was in a title picture, he wasn't. He's facing the Miz, like, he got this thing going on with the Miz. I really don't know if they know what to do with Dolph. Like, I seriously am starting to see that maybe they just don't know exactly where to place him. Like, it is, sometimes with Dolph Ziggler, I do see the whole, he's too good, he's not good enough thing, And it really is understandable because is highly understandable because you have him, you bring him into SmackDown. Let's just talk like recent. You bring him into SmackDown as like, and then you make him a number one contender to the title. So then he wrestles for the title one time, he loses, and then you just completely like, all right, well, we're going to put him back with the Intercontinental title picture. If that's what you was going to do, you could have brought him in that way. But I think they were looking for more with him. I don't know what it is. It's confusing sometimes to really try and pinpoint what exactly is going on with Dolph, because he could be sitting here trying to fight the Miz for the Intercontinental title right now, and then like next week, you know, for all we know, he could be just jobbing out again. Like I don't know if they know what to do with Dolph. I think they're really just trying to find a footing for him and put him in what considered to be like the perfect place. But for Dolph Ziggler, there's never really been like the perfect place. You know, it's never been like with him. It's never been a place and like with the whole creative view of him and music and attitude and everything where it was just like, this is it. You know, that is where he needs to be. This is where he's at. Because he's been a main eventer. He's been he's been all over the mid-card picture. So it's like, you can't really say that he hasn't done it. He's done it. He's done it all. So what do you really do with him?
Yeah, with Dolph, I kind of draw some blanks. I don't know what the next step is or what the goal is. Bray Wyatt defeats Randy Orton via forfeit after the backstage attack, which leads to a no-holds-barred match against Kane, which Bray ends up losing to Kane with help from Randy Orton, who comes out and distracts Bray long enough to get Kane to win.
Right.
What did you take from that match, Keish?
One, I like how they're trying to make Kane like the scary big dude again. You know, anybody that knows me knows I watch a lot of like what I like to call retro wrestling, which is just wrestling from like years ago. And Kane was always like that monster stigma, like, oh, you're gonna have a match tonight, you're gonna face Kane. Like, I'm so glad that they're going back to that. Like, they're creeping back into that. Two, like, the match in itself, it was interesting, but I don't know if it was like the best match. Like, I wouldn't really, you know, say it was good, but I don't know. Like, for me, I guess because no holds barred has to be way different at this point. You know, I'm like, I was looking for a little bit more from the match itself. I mean, of course, like, I'm not looking for blood or anything. I know they're not going to go that far. But I was just kind of looking for a little bit more to it than that. You know? So the match was okay to me. I wasn't really too drawn to it in the first place. But it wasn't a bad match. Like, it wasn't horrifically horrible.
Well, I thought it was decent. You could just tell they threw it together, and they threw it together, but they felt like they had to protect both parties because Kane, they setting him up for something because he's been going on this squash match run.
Yeah.
So I think they felt like they had to protect both parties, and this is what you got.
Right.
Heath, Slater, and Rhyno defeat the Usos and become the new SmackDown champions.
I really, honestly, I did we not see that coming? like.
Pretty much from when American Alpha got screwed, you knew where this was going. But Heath Slater now gets his contract, and he's officially part of SmackDown. But I thought they did okay.
Right. I agree. Like, I don't really even know how to even add to that. I definitely agree. I think they did okay. Like, but it's weird. I'm gonna ask you a question that I seen on my Twitter. newsfeed. Like, does Rhyno look like? It's funny because Rhyno looks like the fattest dude that's not fat. Like, it's like I really don't know how to put my finger on Rhyno. But it's funny because now that I see him when he comes out, I'm like, Rhyno looks kind of big. Like, not in like a big, like, swole type of way. Like, big, like, I ate too many cheeseburgers big. Like, I don't know. But I guess it comes with age and, time or whatever. But I know he's not, like, fat. It's just kind of like, what? It's confusing. I don't know. That's just some random stuff that was talked about on my Twitter account. But it's weird seeing them, all that aside, it's weird seeing him and Heath Slater together as a tag team. Like, no BS. Like, it's just really weird seeing them put together as a tag team because these are two people that are the last two people that I would have put together to tag together, And they're now the tag team champions. Like, pretty sure I didn't see that coming, but of course,
okay. Let me address the Rhyno build thing. Rhyno was always awkwardly built. He has insanely short arms, and he's a wide-bodied dude.
Right.
He's almost 50. So I think where he used to be kind of jacked, that doesn't bode well anymore, so it just looks kind of weird. But he still sells it, right? Like, right. I think Rhyno is an apropos name for him because he looks like a rhino.
All right. I'm going
to say this. I thought Slater is underrated.
True. That is true. I do agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Recent matches and recent, especially with him teaming with Rhyno, has really, really shown that. I definitely agree with that. I will not disagree with you at any point of that. It's just weird seeing them together. The pairing is weird. It's not. I'm not saying it's like off. It's just weird. Because who has ever thought at one point in time, like, yeah, I can take Heath Slater and put him with Rhyno. It's like the only time that's ever been considered was when they did the brand split. So it's just kind of the writing of the way this has went is pretty random to me, and it shows. Like, the whole time that they've been building towards this, it has shown how random and like kind of weird this is. Especially when they threw in Heath's family and all of that. Like, it's just been kind of. But I don't think. To add to your point, like, I don't think Heath has ever gotten enough credit because there's always been someone, there outshining him. So I'm glad that now they are starting to really feed into his persona and character and him. They're really putting him out there. So, and we'll talk more about it when we get to the SmackDown recap too.
Yeah. So we get through there and we get to the main event: AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. AJ hits a low blow while the ref isn't looking and leads to a Styles clash that probably wasn't the most well executed. And he's the new champ. Your thought on AJ Styles? Former TNA champ, former IWGP champ, former ROH champ. He might be the only guy to have that designation. And now WWE flagship champ.
I think that he deserves it. I think it's awesome, personally, because I feel like AJ after, being a fan of AJ Styles over the years, I feel like, of course, he has what it takes to really be the face of the place, as he puts it. I'm glad this has happened. I wasn't expecting it to, not like right now, but it's not out of place to me to see it happen, and I am proud of AJ. The match was great, but it's something that I wanted to ask you, because this is my own assessment of what's going on, and I should have asked this maybe like a week ago or so, but I'm going to ask it now because it happened during the match. And I know low blows are supposed to be like devastating, but do you think they're like overemphasizing that just a little too much? I mean, I personally feel like I've seen, of course, I watch old stuff, and low blows have always been like it's a distraction enough to where but I feel like right now, like the way they're doing it's like really like overemphasizing like how devastating it is. But of course, I'm not a man, so I don't know. So I know nothing about that. Like I personally, I guess it's just the way it's seen, like when he hit it on SmackDown last week, not this past Tuesday, but the week before, and it was just kind of like, and like the week before that when AJ was hung up on the rope, and I don't know. I guess I'm picking too much, but it was still an awesome match all the way around, and I'm actually happy with the ending of it. I didn't expect that to be like that. I really thought Dean was going to retain, but yeah, shows me how much I've known about this. My whole opinion of wrestling this week has been thrown all the way to the left. So I applaud AJ for having the belt now. Like, I'm excited for it because I'm ready to see what happens. So it is what it is. I mean, they put him on this path, and eventually we knew it was going to happen. And now it has. So, but I really want to know, like, how do you feel about this being his first singles title?
I think it's due. I really wasn't a fan of the finish, but I'll deal with it. And hey, like I said, the guy deserves it, and I think he could carry this belt for a long time.
I agree.
But we're gonna do this a little different. Generally, we take our break around it. Well, you know what? Let's take the break. We'll flip it back. We'll come back with the birthdays and Raw, and then we will come back on the other side and talk some SmackDown and Cruiserweight Championship. So we will be back.
That was action. Gentlemen, I hate to interrupt your private conversation.
Then don't. We are sick and tired. I don't want to stand out here and yell and scream like a lot of my cohorts do. But it's very simple. Mad Dog, Wally, Carbo. He is the most slick-tongued person in the world when you're talking to him about money, but he comes out here and sounds so homey, it's beautiful. Why does everybody blame Mr. Heenan for what they cannot do, for what they cannot accomplish? And then they start to make all sorts of provisions. What it comes down to is this. These people try, and I think because they fail consistently, that Stanley Blackburn and the Championship Committee and Mr. Wally Carbo and promoters from throughout the world are so prejudiced. I would imagine they are sick and tired of me being the heavyweight champion. But sorry, gentlemen, you have to respect what is being done and taking place. I am the man. But what do they want to do? They want to stick me back into the ring with Mad Dog Vachon. Now, here's a man that, as far as he could be concerned, if he lost the match but injured me and I could not wrestle and had to forfeit the championship, there's nothing he would do more than sit around and smile. He would just be happy as a lark. But I think it's pathetic and it's a sad situation that I am being forced into this, and at the same time I'm being forced into this, what do? They want to blame everything on Mr. Heenan. You're incompetent, gentlemen.
You know what happens? Pretty soon they're going to start blaming me for the great year the Minnesota Gophers had, or the Vikings are having. You're going to start blaming me for everything. Mr. Vachon, and I use it very loosely, he says he's got something in store for me that'll shake me up.
Shock you.
The whole wrestling world. What could you do to me? You got a mind like a mutt that's been hit by 4 cars, and you're going to try to battle minds with me? What could you have in store? Nothing, pal. Nothing.
So we are back on the flip side of the show, and it's our favorite time. It is the birthday segment. And birthdays. Who else keeps up with the birthdays of all your favorite wrestlers and former wrestlers and personalities?
Not too many, if any at all. I'm just saying. But I know we do. Yay!
So, today is the 15th. When we're recording, you probably ain't going to hear it to the 16th. But you're a day behind. Just know that 2 days ago was 13th. Angelina Love and Baron Corbin had birthdays. Today, on the 15th, Teddy Long, player, celebrated his birthday. Teddy turned 69.
Really?
Yes. And you know Teddy Long is a Facebook friend of mine?
Are you serious?
Yes, Teddy Long is my friend on Facebook.
What?
Like real friend, not like I like his fan page, but like he's a friend on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh man.
And it's funny because like he be around, he's doing a lot of indie shows lately. But he's been hanging out with Rocky King, former WCW NWA guy, former roadie for the Freebirds. Guy's been around. And me and Rocky have talked about Rocky doing a show, but I got to do better scheduling, and we will get that done. Aside from that, just dropping some information on y'all, because I know y'all be asking, like, why y'all don't have guests? Keith is busy.
Right.
Keith is tired. Keith watches all this wrestling. Keith works 40 hours a week. Keith run another website, and Keisha works 40 hours a week. Keisha has to take care of some parents. Keisha got some shit going on herself. So sometimes it's hard to book the guests around our wonky schedules.
Right.
So that's why we but we found some dates that will work, and things will change in the future. But aside from that, Saturday, the 17th, Jim Cornette celebrates his birthday. Jim Cornette will turn 55. Keith, did you realize Jim Cornette is younger than Dad?
No, I didn't.
Like, you could not have bet me $1,000 that Jim Cornette was younger than Dad.
Exactly, because I swear I'll be lose. Like, I thought that he was older than that. I really did. I thought he was I wouldn't say way older than that, but I thought he was older than that. Seriously? Like, hey, some stuff will shock the shit out of you. I didn't know. I really didn't know. Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at our dad and looking at Jim Cornette, I would have said, hey, that guy got to be at least 6 or 7 years older than him.
Right. No.
Yeah. I'm not doing it to brag to say my dad looked better than Jim Cornette, but my dad do look better than Jim Cornette.
Just put it out there,
Just throw it out there.
Just so y'all will know.
But yeah, that's it for the birthdays. So let's get into the news, Keish. Also, this week is so loaded, right?
Right.
Saturday, CM Punk had his first UFC fight.
Yes, he did.
And got his ass whooped.
Right. I mean, royally. Like
Mickey
what?
Gale, hey, he threw a punch at, I swear, he swung at like somebody in the third row. He ain't hit nothing. And Mickey hit that shot so sweet, and it was just over after that. Now, I got these jokes, right?
Right.
But on the serious side, CM Punk lived his dream. His dream was to fight in the UFC. Keith, my dream was to make it to the NFL. It did not happen. Now, I would have liked to have happened when I was 22 and capable. Right?
Right.
Because when I was 25, for y'all who don't know, I had a trial with an arena football team. It went well, but I just couldn't see myself playing arena football and making the same amount of money I was making at my day job. So, that ended my football career at about 25. Keish, at 37, if the Atlanta Falcons said, Keith Hope, you come in here and take 5 snaps. We'll let you play 5 snaps in an NFL game. Now, mind you, I probably would not make it past 3. I play those snaps.
Right.
And I'm only saying that to say, hey, my dream wasn't to play in the NBA. I really wasn't that good of a basketball player. But the Hawks told me I'd come out, run the floor a little bit, and maybe even get a chance to take a shot. I'm shooting.
Right.
I just said it to say, a lot of men and women have professional athletic dreams. This guy happened to live his out and got paid for it.
Right.
And when I say he got paid, he got paid. Keith, that man made $500,000.
Just from that one fight?
For 2 minutes of work.
What?
Because he got choked out within 2 minutes. But he got... Now, mind you, that's a lot better than boxing. And I say that because, look, in boxing, hey, man, I'm not taking 2 minutes with Mike Tyson. Now, I know that sounds old because I'm old. And Mike Tyson is my reference for the boxing. But let's say it's Vladimir Klitschko for you young people. Let's say it's Lennox Lewis. I don't really care. I'm not going to a heavyweight fight and let somebody punch me in the face. Because even for $500,000, Keith, I've still got. I mean, that $500,000 ain't gonna last long because I got to buy a new face.
Right. Exactly.
But getting choked out, hey man, you pass out, but after that you wake up. He didn't really pass out. He tapped.
Right.
He didn't pass out. You realize, hey, this is getting bad. I gotta go.
Okay. Let me get him out of here.
After the match, Nikki Gale only got $30,000. Now, to be fair, because I know a lot of people think that sucks. This is a business. People didn't pay to see Mickey Gale. People didn't know who he was except for the fact that he fought CM Punk. Right?
Right.
People paid to see CM Punk try to do MMA. And the UFC had like 700,000 buys. They usually don't get those kind of buys on like a mid-level pay-per-view, right?
Right.
Like this was their best card. This wasn't like UFC 200. There's like a $200,000, $300,000 spike in buys. Like not dollar, but like purchases. If he equated to an extra 100,000 people, that's $50 times 100,000. That's $5 million. They made that 500,000 back.
Right.
Will he fight again in the UFC? I don't know. Dana White says his next fight shouldn't be in the UFC. I agree. His next fight might need to be at the YMCA.
All right.
But the dude 37 years old, and I'm speaking for somebody who's 37 years old. Hey, man, you just can't be starting a new fight sport.
Exactly.
And he don't even have a point of reference. See, Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley were fighters. Not fighters, but they was wrestlers. Sorry. Collegiate wrestlers. All Americans. Best of the best. To be an All-American wrestler takes a lot. Especially at heavyweight. And do you see those dudes? Those dudes are jack freaks of nature.
They are.
Punk a regular dude. For better or for worse. Punk a regular dude. He wasn't ready for that. Hey, it happened.
It did. And it's crazy, the criticism that he's getting for it. Like, you pointed out a very good thing about the whole, you pointed out something about this whole situation that has been very publicized, and that's, of course, him fighting in the first place. And what people have to say about it. A lot of people I think, it's just a whole matter of, oh, I'm just going to talk about him because he's out there thing. But the fact of the matter is, you're right. And you're right, and the people that have also pointed out this great fact about it is right, and that he's lived his dream. Regardless of what it took to get there, he's lived his dream. They did a whole special on him. Like, they've been talking about this since he decided to do it. Like, he lived his dream. And he might have got his ass kicked doing it, but damn it, he did it. Period. So you can't do anything but really respect him for it. If you're not going to do anything else, you can at least do that much. But I'm happy for him, personally. Excuse me. The only thing I have to wonder at this point is, like, what happens with Punk next? Will he continue to fight? Like, is he going to continue to train? Like, will he just move on to something else? Like, what is he going to do?
He said he's going to continue to train, and he's going to be back, and he's going to try to come back.
Well, all right.
He has a 3-fight deal. Here's the thing with the UFC. The UFC kind of hoard themselves out for this one because they generally hold themselves up as a very proud fighting organization. But on the flip side, they couldn't turn down the money.
Right.
I don't know how much money is in his second match. Like, if he'd have won, sky's the limit. If he would have lasted the whole 3 rounds, sky's the limit. Getting choked out in the first minute and a half, it's not going to drum up. Because the guy he fought had like 3 matches worth of experience. Who are you going to find at the UFC? You guys, it's the cream of the crop of MMA.
Right.
Like, I don't know if there's a guy in Bellator that limited enough in experience. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's a guy that's going to fight over here on Roswell Road at the 120 bar. Where they amateur MMA nights. That, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So, I mean, I think that's where we're at with that. The fight was spoofed at Backlash during the Ziggler-Miz fight.
Right.
Where Miz kind of played Punk and Ziggler played Mickey Gale, which is kind of funny. In other news, Paige said Alberto Del Rio opened up a restaurant in San Antonio.
Really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty big deal. Just something he's working on, as he continues his wrestling career over in Mexico, and you know what I mean. He's gonna do some stuff, so you're gonna look out for that.
Right.
Biggest news that's happened in the week. Vince McMahon sustained an injury while training.
What?
Yeah, he has suffered a torn quad this past week while doing squats. But they said he had surgery early in the week, and he was back at headquarters on Wednesday. he was actually squatting a significant amount of weight, and it caused him to miss the Backlash pay-per-view. They said the details of the injury are sketchy because, Vince didn't want everybody to know. But, he sustained a torn quad, similar to the same injury his son-in-law suffered twice, actually in the ring. But that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it does.
A quad? I've been working out lately, and I don't do a lot of leg stuff, but the quad, it was like the biggest muscle in that leg, especially that front part of the leg.
Yeah.
Man, and so if he that means he was squatting a lot. And Vince, already is kind of a divo. But at 70 years old, man, you can't be out here squatting 350 pounds. You might need to let that go.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I mean, because between your muscles and your knees, look, the pressure that squat puts on your knees and your lower body. Hey, man, 70 years old, you might not need to be squatting too much. Not even as an action, but let alone, doing it with heavy amounts of weight. But, they say he's back at it. Hopefully he, take his time and be careful. And, best to the old man. Hope he gets back at it. Anything else out there in the atmosphere you want to discuss, Keish?
Actually, I don't think I have anything else for this week. Surprisingly enough, everything that I have for this week has to do with the actual shows that's going on. So, now I'm good. I'm definitely good on that.
Well, here's the thing. We was wondering about Paige's status with the WWE. She's not leaving. And they said she'll be back next week on Raw.
Awesome.
So, that's fine. She said she was clear. She was not suspended for failing drug tests. It was really due to a procedural issue. She took a test and passed it. But she's back. And she's ready to go. So, hey, man. Here's the thing. Her boyfriend gone. I think with the WWE, they may not have wanted them together. So now since one person don't work for the company, they can't do nothing about it. So they go. But we'll see how this works out. Because I've seen a lot of significant others try to work their career after the other one left the company.
Right.
And they still try to take it out on a significant other, especially when the significant other is a female. So this will be interesting. This will be interesting. But yeah, that's it. So let's go to Raw.
Please.
Raw opens up with Dana Brooke and Charlotte in the ring with Mick Foley.
Right.
And none other than the boss, Sasha Banks, shows up. And next thing you know, Bayley shows up. Next thing you know, we got a triple threat for the number one contender with Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Dana Brooke.
Yeah, and it was really, it's funny how Sasha told Bayley, yeah, we cool and everything, but when it comes to that title, I don't like you. I thought it was funny, but at the same time, I understood why it had to happen. Dana, of course, I called it. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. When Dana had hit Charlotte, and then all of a sudden it became this whole, it became a triple threat, I was like, you know what? I bet you by the end of the night, she's going to be, begging Charlotte to forgive her and, all this other crap. Yeah. Whatever. It was interesting that set up so fast. The triple threat, but the triple threat itself was amazing. It was amazing. And I don't know if anybody can, really... There's nothing that you can tell me that's going to make me disagree. It was amazing. So I'm glad they added Dana Brooke into the element. And something that I was saying on my Twitter, was that Dana Brooke doesn't. I feel like Dana Brooke is underrated herself. I don't feel like she gets the credit she deserves when it comes to like actually wrestling. Sometimes when she's doing promos and stuff, it's a little flat. But when it comes to the ring, like, I feel like she has it. You know, I really don't. I really seriously believe Dana Brooke is overlooked a lot. You know, and I really wish that could change, but I'm starting to see that change now. And I hope that they start to kind of build on it with her. You know, instead of just keeping her as Charlotte's protege, like they do more with her. Because I feel like she really just kind of gets tossed to the side a little bit.
Well, I'm really glad she stood up for herself.
Right. Like, I'm so glad that happened. But it put her out in a light that she really don't get, you know, put out in too much. I feel like they kind of tucked her away by putting her with Charlotte. And I don't think that's a place she needs to be. I think she needs to be there up front with the rest of the other women. Because she deserves, to me, she deserves that place. You know? She does. So, hopefully they change this. I wouldn't say even in the near future, because I know that's probably not going to happen, but I'll be glad when they do separate her and Charlotte and give her the space she needs to be the individual that she is. So, very great matchmaking, though. That's my personal opinion.
No, I mean, I thought the matchmaking was good. I thought everybody showed a lot, right?
Right.
I thought that it ended kind of weird because the way Sasha got her pin, I thought they was gonna say both their shoulders was down.
Yeah.
But you know, it went with that. Enzo and Cass met Epico and Primo backstage.
Right.
Epico and Primo trying to sell Puerto Rico timeshares. I think that's kind of weird. So, new look, Bo Dallas scored another win over a jobber.
Yeah.
And we thought that he was going to fall off after his drunken airport incident, but apparently not. Sami Zayn joined the highlight reel only to get beat up.
Oh, right.
And let's see. Cesaro is catching up in the Best of 7 series. He is now only down 3-2, which we said. We said they was going to let Sheamus go up. Then we're going to watch the amazing Cesaro come back. I guess somewhere towards the pay-per-view at Night of Champions we'll get the final match of the Best of 7.
Right.
And the winner gets a title shot somewhere.
Which
so I
awesome.
think it's actually worth something.
Which is good. I'm glad that they have some kind of incentive for the winner. I feel like that'll be the point, though. You know, what they would ultimately be working towards anyway. So, but I'm glad that Cesaro is increasingly, you know, keeping up with Sheamus, which I think we had determined that was going to happen. But I just didn't want it to be like a sweep or, you know, a shutout or, you know, Sheamus won like 4-1 or nothing like that. I didn't want that to happen. I'm excited.
So probably one of the biggest events for Raw, but they was Nia Jax destroying Alicia Fox. I want to say this.
Yeah.
I watched Nia Jax beat up some jobbers, right?
Right.
I think her destruction of Alicia Fox is the most impressive thing she's done.
Yeah.
And to sling her full body by her head is like, whew, that was scary.
Right. That was. But I felt, of course, some people might disagree with this, but I feel like Alicia Fox was the first person she faced, like, since she came to Raw, that could really give her a real fight, you know? And her destruction of Alicia was dominating in a great way. I didn't feel like, at first I kind of felt like when she did it, I was like, okay, you know, it really set a tone. At first I thought that was really like off. Like I didn't know how to really take it because it was going to be difficult trying to place her with the rest of the women. But then I said, well, I think that's where Nia Jax needs to be. She's in her own class. And I feel like she needs to be in her own class, you know? She has to do something to fully separate her from the rest of the women. And when she did that last Monday night, it was awesome. You know, I feel like it wasn't just her coming out there wrestling for like 5 minutes and then leaving. Now, I was scared for Alicia. I was very scared for Alicia because I was like, man, like, is this going to really hurt? Like, is she hurt? Like, I didn't really know what to take from it, you know, because it was brutal. It was brutal. And I mean, she didn't even use anything. She just kind of was just literally throwing her around. It was brutal. Like, I don't want to be tossed around like that. like, I'm sorry. I love wrestling and everything, but I think that's the one that I draw lines. I'm like, no, we're not doing that tonight. I'm good. I'm like, I'm good. I'm really good on that.
Yeah, yeah. It turned out pretty good. Anderson and Gallows defeated Kofi and Xavier in a match where, you know, it was a new day, but it really wasn't a new day because, you know, Big E would be there if it was a title match. Well, he was there, but he was the ringside. Not a lot you take from that one.
No.
I think they just tried to let Xavier get some ring work, and they basically tried to have a match with the New Day without having a match with the New Day.
Right.
If that makes sense, right?
It makes perfect sense. Right. I get it. And I understand it too. So, besides, let Xavier shine sometimes. He's great. You know, he's just as good as the other two. Mm. So, Keith's question. Why are Enzo and Cass taking jobs to the Shining Stars? Like, they lost the tag match last week. This week, Enzo lost his singles match to, I don't know if it was Epico or Primo. It really don't matter.
Don't you dare boo me. Don't you dare boo me. After I have been pushed aside week after week after week from my general manager and my commissioner, you're going to sit there and boo me? 148 days it took to get all of your attention. For a prestigious title that was once prestigious, but now it's been tarnished by quitters and serial failures, but it will rise to the relevance once again because of me, the Intercontinental Champion. Yet, I am your Intercontinental Champion, but I have a soft style. I don't like to get hit in the face. Maybe it's because I'm a great champion. Maybe that's right. I'm not like the other losers that actually get hit. I'm a person that's smarter and more talented that finds a way not to get hit. You don't get it. You don't see what goes on back there. You don't know. Who do you think that they call when they need someone to be a spokesperson? Me. Who do you think they call for a commercial? Me. A movie. Me. A red carpet. Me. A person to main event WrestleMania, then go ahead and play a frickin' chicken. Me. I do it all, day in and day out, never getting injured.
WWE.
All right, we'll excuse the technical difficulties that we have experienced, but we are back. The Wi-Fi just decided to say, screw you, man. I don't care what you're doing. But anyway, so Izzo and Cass, why are they taking jobs to Epico and Primo?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I seriously was not feeling that Monday night. I was like, no. I don't want. Why? It doesn't make sense, Keith. It really doesn't. Nothing about it makes sense. I don't get it. I don't know what they're doing. Like, I've completely lost track of what's happening with Enzo and Cass at this point. I really have. So I don't really know what to say about it. It's very shocking to me, but it makes no sense. I'm not even going to sit here and act as if there's any shred of any of that like is like, oh yeah, well, I get it. That no, I don't, not at all. So who knows? Who knows?
Right. So that happened. And then to round out Raw, Kevin Owens defeats Roman Reigns in that god awful, I hate Fight the Champion match. Now, it was a good match. The match itself was good. I think they both showed out. Seth Rollins interfered, and Mick Foley had to stop the match. Then he made it continue, and then Rusev showed up.
Right.
Which saved us from Roman Reigns being in that pay-per-view, Keisha, that triple threat. I don't think he adds a lot to it.
No, there didn't need to be a place for him.
Yeah,
it didn't.
Yeah, I want Rollins and Owens one-on-one.
Right.
So that's going down. Since we've already done had a hitch, you people probably have already had a break because I probably infused some music or something in between. So we'll roll on to SmackDown, Keish. AJ Styles shows off his new title, and he met a returning John Cena. I did not expect Cena to be back so soon, but he is back, and he wants a shot at the title.
Yeah. But, I mean, do we expect anything less from John Cena?
No, not at all. Not an iota less, no.
Like, you would be crazy to think that John Cena's just going to come in and he's like, I'm back, what's up? And that'd be the end of it. No. Of course he's going to want a shot at the title. Of course he's going to want...
Well, it's held by the last guy that beat him, so it makes sense in story.
Right. Makes perfect sense. But I get why you would want to give that to him, but like I'm with you. I really didn't expect him to be back at this point, like right now, in the first place. So it's really weird, to say the least, but I'm glad he's back. I like Cena. So,
question: are you ready to see him break Ric Flair's record?
No. To tell the truth, I'm never going to be ready for that. Never. I'll never be ready for that. Like I will never be ready for anybody to break that record. Like never.
I mean,
the question.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The question that I have to ask myself is, will they ever let that happen?
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen.
Of course not.
I'm too far from the right. Yeah, they like Flair, but they don't love him. Plus, Flair did some things post his career that I don't think they liked. Like when he was supposed to be retired. They went through he's retired. He's not wrestling anymore. Him going to TNA, I think, rubbed some people the wrong way. Him wrestling in TNA really rubbed people the wrong way. The tour he did with Hogan in Australia, that kind of stuff. rub people the wrong way.
All right.
I mean, they thought he poo-pooed on his legacy. Now,
yeah.
What I will say, also, I think they want their guy to have the record, right? And what I mean by their guy, understand, Flair won 16 titles, right?
Right.
Only 2 are WWF championships. Cena's entire 16 will be with the WWF.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I'm not saying it would make Cena the greatest of all time.
No, that is a stretch. That's a stretch in itself. That's a stretch.
It does. I mean, he's in a discussion already.
Right.
I know that pisses a lot of y'all off. I'm ready for the emails. Kholt, Kholt, at ringtimeprowrestling.com. You can hit me on Twitter at KHoltJR. But he's in the conversation already. Do I think he is? No. I don't even think he's in my top 5.
Right.
Guess what? I ain't 20. I'm not 19. Right? Because understand, if you're 22, that's your guy.
Exactly.
Because let's say you start watching wrestling at 5 years old. So 5 from 17, that's like 17 years ago. So it's 99. You saw Austin, you saw Rock, but you probably didn't watch too much of it because you didn't stay up that late. The Attitude Era was a little too raunchy.
Right. Who was
PG
it?
product kicks in, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's say 2005, you're 10 years old. You're 11 years old, 2005. 10 years old. Cena ascends. He's the man through your childhood.
Right.
See, that's the thing, too. Like, I don't think you understand. Some of his fans have grown up. But that dude's the man through your childhood. He's won all the belts. He's beaten everybody.
Exactly.
That's your guy. If you're 17, you know what I mean? Like, I can go down the line, but this is your Hogan. Like, you've heard of Hogan, you've heard of Flair, but this is your guy, right?
Right.
I want to make it likened to this. I grew up with Hogan and Flair. I had Sting. I had the Warrior. You know what I mean? Like, I had those guys. I had Undertaker.
Ah, the Undertaker.
That doesn't take anything away from Bruno, Dory Funk, Harley Race. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bob Backlund, even. You know, well, Bob Backlund was still cat shit when I was coming in. But it doesn't take anything away from those guys. But they wasn't my time, right?
Right.
Like I didn't see Bruno in his heyday. I wasn't around for Harley Race running through the NWA. So I can't really, like, I don't attach to those guys. I attach to what was prominent in my era and through my childhood. So people who are my age listen to this show, like, how the hell could you put Cena in that pantheon? But
exactly.
Because by the numbers, he's there, right?
Right.
And I mean, none of this is real anyway. So we got to go with what we got, and that guy has been the Fix. He has carried the mantle for as long as he has to carry it. Like, he's the unquestioned the man in the wrestling business for his time period. Like, he's the greatest star of his generation. I think the WWF put that 16th belt on him. And 17th, because you got to break it.
Right.
Officially says that's who we say is our guy. That is the top star of going to be all time. And I think his loyalty to the company, never wrestling anywhere else in the majors. Ever. He never went to TNA. He never wrestled in New Japan. Like, this is strictly a WWF born and bred product.
Right.
Straight out of OVW to the top. He's from that class of 2002. And who knew he was going to be the star of the 2002 class?
Nobody. Like,
because he was at the back.
Right. Even the ones in the back that were doing all the story writing and creative stuff and all that, no one thought that he would be as big as he is. No one. Everybody, it was just kind of like, him? Nah.
Like, okay, they knew Batista was going to do something, but they didn't know what, right?
Right.
And I don't know how much players they have, but they knew he was a jacked up guy with a good look, but they knew he was older too, so they didn't know how long that was going to last. Brock was the future, and they made that apparently very clear.
Right.
Randy, they knew Randy just because the genetics just couldn't. He was third generation guy, and you watch him in the ring now. He does everything excellent.
Right.
Kind of like his pops. There's no wasted motion in that ring with Randy Orton. So they knew they had something with Randy. I don't know. I think they probably had mid-card projections for Cena. They didn't know he was going to captivate a generation.
No, not at all.
But he's their guy. But with that, let's keep it moving. So at No Mercy, there will be a triple threat with John Cena, AJ Styles, and Dean Ambrose. Because Dean Ambrose is not out of the picture, and Dean Ambrose will let everybody know that, hey, he wants that belt back.
Right.
And this could lead to an Ambrose-Cena feud.
That would be kind of interesting to watch.
Because, Dean had to hit them dirty deeds on Cena at the end of the night to say, hey, look, I'm not your friend.
Right. Exactly. That would definitely be interesting to watch. Ooh, and I can already know how this is going to go because you know it's going to cause Ambrose to have like a complete heel turn. Oh, man. I'm with it. Let's make it happen. Look, I'm excited about it, and they haven't even gotten into that direction yet. All I'm saying is it would be interesting to watch. I fully support it. I'm all up and for it. Cena and Ambrose. Yes, ma'am. I'm with it. Okay, but seriously. Triple threat, No Mercy is going to be big. I don't know, though. You know, it's going to be different. I never really particularly liked Cena in the triple threat situation, you know, personally. But that's just me. I'm only speaking for myself. It's weird that I support Cena in that environment, in that setting, you know. But, hey, you know, whatever works for them. To each his own, hey. So... what was after that?
Then we go to the Usos have a rematch against the Hype Bros, where they reinforce that they are some solid heels and they are ready.
Right. True.
But it went down. Usos won. Jack Swagger comes to SmackDown officially. He announces that after Baron Corbin beats up Apollo Crews. But Swagger announced that he is official part of SmackDown. I don't know if they got plans to relaunch Swagger or if they got big plans to Swagger. Alexa Bliss was a fatal 5-way to become number one contender to the Becky Lynch's title.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, out of the 5 people, yeah, I didn't pick her as number one contender.
I didn't see that coming. That
like literally, she would have been the last person I would have picked as the number one contender.
Exactly, like that.
But see, I think
all the way to the left.
Carmella and Nikki are going to have a feud. Safe to say,
right?
So you can take them out of the title picture till they solve their issue.
Exactly.
Now that leaves Natty, Alexa Bliss, and Naomi. So Naomi's a face now. So I think that is where everything flips over, and that would have left Natty or Alexa, and I think they want to try something new.
I see, but I'm liking this try something new. I think it's awesome. So I'm very excited about this try something new. I was really surprised that they have gone in this direction with Alexa Bliss, but at the same time, I actually have I'm actually interested to see how this goes, to tell the truth. I'm very interested to see how this goes. She's the number one contender for the women's title at this point. So you can't do nothing but either you're going to love her or you're going to hate her. But, hey, this is the time to do it. So.
Yeah, she's extremely talented. I'm happy for her, and we'll see what goes on. Other than that, I don't think there's a lot really to hold on to from SmackDown.
Oh, well, I have something that I wanted to kind of harp on a little bit.
Okay.
The Miz, and this, and how he's like taking on his own direction, like how he's pretty much calling his own shots. I'm loving the way that they are. I think they have the Miz right now. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing like hard when he came out and attacked James, the guy that was supposed to be AJ's partner for the main event. Like, I was like, dude, he didn't have to do him like that. Like, I was too excited about that. I don't know what it was, but I think it's the fact that they have the Miz's like attitude right now at this point is incredible. Like, I love how they have him out there, and I love how the direction of his character has gone completely. I don't know who decided to run with this, but oh my God, please, just I'm too excited about it, and I can't wait to see what develops further with this, with him and the whole Daniel Bryan thing, because I'm really trying to figure out like where this is going with them two, just them two in general. But right now I don't even care. Like, I'm just interested in watching what's going to happen next week. So that I had to throw out there because I've been waiting since Tuesday to express how I felt about the entire thing. Like, I was like, man, what? Like, I was too excited. So, because, Miz is already, like, a heel anyway, but he's a great one at that. So.
Here's the thing. I think he might be their biggest star on Raw as far as a heel.
Right.
Not Raw, I'm sorry, SmackDown. And I think that he has a lot of potential.
He does.
And I think the way him and Daniel interacts, I don't know what's going to happen or where they're going to go with it, but I am interested.
True. I'm gonna throw something random at you. I know this is really random, but since we're talking about the Miz, like, I sat down earlier today and watched like every episode of Ride Along, and he was on one with Dolph. He was talking to Dolph about his WrestleMania moment. Do you know that he didn't even see like the video package they did for him before the match until after the match? Like, he said he never got to see it like at all. So he ended up watching it like sometime after the match was over and WrestleMania was over and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then he was just kind of like in awe at how they put it together. Like, he was like, I didn't know that they did all of that. Like especially, like, with the real world footage and, you know, him as a kid, and, you know, all that. He didn't know that they did all of that. So he was just kind of like, I didn't know they even, like, he knew that there was one put together for him, but he didn't get to see it before he actually had the match. Plus, he said he had, like, all his, like, closest friends in the front row, you know, when he main evented. Like, he was like, yeah, all the ones that was there when I was watching, when Stone Cold and The Rock faced each other at WrestleMania, and they was watching it with me in my living room, they were all in the front row, and I was telling them, like, and I pointed at them, you know, when I got in the ring, and was like, hey, you know, we made it, we did it. Like, it was not just his moment, but it was theirs too. So that's just me, you know, putting a new light to the Miz a little bit, but
no, honestly, I think he gets an unfair mark on him for being a reality TV show guy, for being a guy that doesn't necessarily, he didn't come through the traditional ranks, and I think that's fair to say.
Which is true.
And people give him crap about that.
But I feel like he's proven himself to be more than just that. Like, on too many separate occasions, he has proven that he's more than just that. Like, he deserves this.
No, I've told you before, I think he's put together a Hall of Fame career.
Right.
Like, that's, I think it's undisputed. He's main event at WrestleMania. He's a former world champion. And he held that title for like 7 months.
Right.
Like, it wasn't just like a transition. Multiple time tag team champion, right? 5-time IC champion, former U.S. champion. He's won every belt you can win. So, Triple Crown, Grand Slam champ, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, he's done all of that.
He's greatness.
So, and now I think he's turned in some of his best promo work.
Oh yeah.
So, and he's never been a bad talker.
Never.
Is he this generation's Piper? I don't know, but I mean, because like when I think of like comparison people, like first thing in my mind with Miz is like Piper. But I think Piper was a little bit more believable as a wrestler. Miz, I mean, he's a cornerstone guy. Like, they've used him in like 5 movies. Like, the guy has value to them.
Right.
I think he's Here's the thing. I don't know how to evaluate who's appreciated, underappreciated in this era. Because the fans do watch shows based on certain guys. They do buy certain merch. But then there's people who react in the ring, and they react in the stadiums a certain way, and they talk shit online. But I don't, like, it's hard to tell between that and the other fan who's more what. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's definitely fair.
So, I will say this. We're going to wrap this show up with the Cruiserweight Classic.
Oh, yes. The Cruiserweight Classic.
We had the semifinals, and we'll tell you the people who was in there. Grand Metalik versus Zack Sabre, and T.J. Perkins versus Kota Ibushi. Keith, the 2 guys I thought was going to the finals didn't make it.
Yeah, I agree. I was shocked. So, yeah. Well, I'll say one of the guys that I thought was going to go to the finals. Well, let me think. No. Yeah, one of the guys that I thought was going to go to the finals didn't make it.
I was going to say, for the beginning of the tournament, we pretty much locked in our favorites. And let's say Kota Ibushi was an obvious favorite.
Right.
Like, that's obviously was somebody who had to go all the way.
Exactly.
He lost to the semis. And he lost to T.J. Perkins.
Which was, like, the most left field. Like,
I mean, he was a dark horse. You want T.J. Perkins' background?
Please.
You know T.J. Perkins.
Do I?
Yes. You know Manic. You know Suicide.
That's T.J. Perkins?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. Keish, the TNA invasion of WWE is complete.
Stop it. That's T.J. Perkins? You know what? I would have never, I'm not even going to lie, I would have never put those two together. Like, had you not just told me that, I swear to you, I never would have put it together. And it's crazy because throughout the whole entire tournament, I have really been questioning, like, where most of these guys have come from, because I knew that, the original thought process was like, some of them are like really young, but then like when I see names like Tajiri and Brian Kendrick, I was like, well, okay, that's not. And then I found out like how old Kota Ibushi really is, and I was like, man, like, okay, so it's a good mix of age group, you know. But I swear to you, I would have never put the two together. I did not know that this was the same person that we were talking about. Oh, man, I feel crazy at this point. Like, I feel real crazy right now.
No, I mean, it's not to say feel crazy, but I mean, a lot's going on there, right? So,
right.
T.J. Perkins defeats Ibushi in probably the biggest upset of the tournament.
Yeah.
Grand Metalik defeats Zack Sabre, which that really wasn't a big upset. I just thought Sabre was going to win, right?
Right.
So I thought he was going to go to the finals. Like, I think he's one of the most technically skilled guys that was in the tournament. But Metalik has Grand Metalik has that pop to him, right?
Right.
Like, I can't explain it, but he has it. One thing I would tell you for watching this tournament, these guys, one thing about cruiserweights, because of their unique travels and what they have to do to make it, those guys have went all over the world, right?
Right.
You could tell every guy took a little something from each one of his stops. So when you look at the experience, they have done everything. And it shows because, like, they can do any style. So, like, they have the luchador style from Japan. They have the American style. Not the luchador from Japan, the Mexican luchador style. But then they have the Japanese style, like, because a lot of them have been to the New Japan dojo.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of them have worked ROH over here. A lot of them have worked, you know what I mean? So it all comes together in this gumbo. And you've got to see some really incredible wrestling out there.
Some of the best. Some of the best wrestling. Like, period.
So that sets up our final with Metalik and Ibushi. I mean, Metalik and Perkins. But, hey, while they're telling you stories and getting you caught up on guys, they threw a tag match here, Keish.
A great
DIY. DIY, which is Gargano and Ciampa, took on Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar. And had a hell of a tag team match.
Yeah.
One of the best tag team matches I've seen in a while.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they threw that in there.
Yeah. I mean, the whole show is incredible.
Right.
I think the T.J. Perkins and Ibushi match is going to be that match of the year talk.
It is. It definitely is. You can't deny that. Like, it was awesome. So, it actually went way better than I thought it was. Because I didn't think that it was going to be a match that was... to tell the truth, the one consistent thing about the Cruiserweight Classic was that no match was like a bad match. Like, in my mind. Like, to me, there was no match that I saw that was like, horrible or like something that was just kind of like, no. Like, for me, it was all awesome and incredibly awesome just because of the simple fact that these were matches that, you know, you would never think to put together. So when it came down to the semis and when it came to the tag team match that they had, even the final match itself, I thought that this whole show, just this one show last night, well, Wednesday night, was just, I mean, I don't think I've seen, it was something that you can't duplicate. Like, it was just incredibly, it was just awesome all the way around. The words for it is kind of hard to put together because it was the wrestling that we don't get to see a lot, period. Like, you know, we watch Raw, we watch SmackDown, and we get a lot of storyline and, you know, interrupted matches and, you know, cheats here and there, you know, that kind of stuff. You expect things to happen. You expect there to be this heel face thing, and that didn't happen. So it was the different that was necessary for the tournament. And I'm glad. The tag team match was very random to me. I'm not going to lie. That was really random to me. I really thought that they were going to... I didn't know what they were going to do in between the two semifinal matches and the final match. But to have that tag team match was very random to me. So, but I'm glad they did it. I'm glad that they filled that gap with that. Because, I mean, what's better to see during a wrestling show than more wrestling? Like...
Yeah, one thing you can say that the wrestler held up. And main event, T.J. Perkins versus Grand Metalik. Triple H came to the ring and announced that the winner of this tournament will also be a new Cruiserweight champ. And in a very spirited match, in a crafty match, T.J. Perkins won the Cruiserweight title and the tournament.
Yeah.
So manic. Suicide is your new Cruiserweight champion. So, hey, X Division title or Cruiserweight title. He's done.
Right.
Keith, why WWE better at getting over TNA stars?
You know, I don't know. Maybe because of the creative direction. Maybe it's because of the people that's doing the creative. I can't tell you. Like, that's my best guess. Like, they have people that have a little bit more money. I don't know. That doesn't matter. Yeah, I would have to say it had to be the creative, the decisions that's made behind the person. Because, boy, I'm telling you, I would have never guessed this was the same person. Like, even with you telling me that this used to be manic and suicide, like, I'm still looking at him like, no, that's not the same person. It's not. Like, in my mind, it's not. Like, this is a totally different person that they just presented to us. Like, it can't be the same person. But they do a great job at it. I'll give you that. You know. But I think it's more so just a position thing. Sometimes, as we've seen before, many times before, you know, sometimes it's like people say that the person makes the character, right? And that is true, but sometimes it really takes the company to also push that person in the right direction. And at times, I really just don't think that they know what to do with a person. Then they go to another company, and then they're like the biggest star ever. So I really just think that this was just his place. You know, this whole Cruiserweight Classic has really brought a lot of people to the forefront of where they can shine, you know? So I'm happy to see that this is giving, especially him, the opportunity to really shine. I'm excited about it. And it's funny because I was looking, I didn't, at first when I seen the Cruiserweight title belt, I was like, oh my God, why is it that color? But then I realized that it was the color of like everything I had to do with Cruiserweight. So, well, during the tournament, so I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. It all connects. Got it. Not gonna ask any more about it. So, I mean, I just wanted to know, but that's just me being me. So. But I'm happy for TJ Perkins. I am. Last person I expected to win the tournament, to tell the truth. Because probably about round 2, I was like, I had already picked 3 people that could possibly win, and then they all got eliminated. And I was just like, okay. I don't know who's going to win this. So that was just me, though. I don't know. But I'm sad to see the Cruiserweight Classic go, but I am excited to know that there's going to be Cruiserweights on Raw, that they're going to continue the division, and that I'm pretty sure we're going to see more than just a few of the competitors from the tournament on Raw within the next few months, you know, or so. Plus, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some that's going to go to NXT as well. So, you know, I don't expect this to be the last of a good half of who we saw. I would say about a good third, maybe, of who was in the Classic itself. It was I thought it was like the best thing ever that they could have done with the network and creative and just like in general. So, and I know there's going to be another one next year. It has to be. Like, there's no way you're going to get around not having another one next year. So, of course, that person that wins is not going to be the Cruiserweight champion because it's already going to be an established title on Raw. But at the same time, I know that it's going to be another tournament. So, because I think, that's just, it's fair to say. So.
Great. With that, we're going to wrap up. It has been fun hanging out with y'all tonight.
We love you.
We will be back next week to get you caught up with what's going on in wrestling. We might even talk to TNA. Who knows?
Right.
But with that, we are out. Peace.
Bye.